Hey, I'm Geeky Pastimes, and this is a video that's probably going to end up being quite a long one, where I'm going to show you how to get all 37 achievements on PawnTakesPawn.com. As a disclaimer, I don't have any control over whether or not you get a postcard, and you need the postcard to get the 37th achievement. So I can show you the steps we did to get that postcard. I don't know if they're sending out anymore. I don't know if they're sending them to anywhere other than UK and US. As far as I know, people who completed the first 5 achievements on that first day who lived in UK and US seem to be all getting one. They're taking a while, so I'm sure some people in the US haven't got one yet, but will do. And same for some people in the UK, because it depends on post and things like that. I haven't heard of people in other countries getting one yet, and I don't know if there was a cut-off point where if you do it now, whether you'll still be able to. You can definitely still register your address, and I managed to do that today, but beyond that, I don't really know how it's working, how they're deciding how many more to send out. So if you don't get a postcard sent to you, a physical one, you can't get that 37th achievement. You can't use somebody else's code. You can't use a duplicate code or anything like that. You actually need to have it. But even if you can't get a postcard, you can still get the other 36 achievements, and I'll show you how in this guide. If you find it useful, please do like and subscribe, share it on Twitter or in Discords or on Reddit or things like that, because lots of people have been asking me to do this guide, and it takes quite a lot of work to make this one. So hopefully you'll find it really, really useful. So, enjoy the video. So, as you can see, I already have 37 achievements on PawnTakesPawn.com. We were sort of trying to do them live as soon as a new step went live. We were trying to get them. And these are all of the achievements you can currently get on the website as far as we know. I haven't seen anyone getting any more than these. So in order to capture the sort of footage of getting the achievements and going through it, what I did was I started a new account on PawnTakesPawn, started a new game of Zork, and the way that I'm going to show you it is kind of taking you through all of Zork. But it's also not the only way to do this. There's loads of different orders you can do it in. There might be more efficient ways of doing it and things like that. But I just kind of wanted to show you this is the way I did it, and this is the sort of walkthrough I used. And I'll try to explain each one as I go, just so you can kind of see, okay, this is the actual thing that triggers it. If you've already got a bunch of the achievements, all you need to do is kind of go to the bit of the video for that achievement. And I'll keep a counter on the screen just so you can see how many achievements I got at what point. And so if you're following along from scratch, you should be able to get a sense of whether you've missed something. Another little disclaimer, there is some RNG in this. There's some stuff that maybe that won't necessarily happen to you, and I'll show you how to get one of the achievements that's probably the most random one. But there's a couple of bits where something different might happen to you, and that means you can't follow my walkthrough. And those two things are the thief and the loud room. So the problem with the loud room is that once you go in there the first time, it actually makes you run to another part of the maze. And that's where it's really useful to have a map of Zork ready, because after that you need to get back to the dome room. So just look at where it made you run to and then navigate your way back to the dome room. The other thing that's RNG is the thief. There's two things about the thief that's a bit of a problem. The first one is that he will steal something from you at some point, hopefully. I say hopefully because you actually get an achievement for having something stolen from you. I'll show you a way to force that at the end if it doesn't happen to you, like it didn't to me when I did this run through. But if he does steal something from you and you don't have treasures on you, he could steal an object that's actually quite important. Because of that, it's a really good idea to save regularly, just to sort of like hope that he doesn't steal something that's too important from you. If it's a treasure, it's not a big deal because you can just go and get it from him later when you kill him. But if it's something like I've seen someone say that they had the air pump stolen from him, that kind of spoils a big bit of the game for you. So yeah, I would keep saving, every few turns, just to make sure if something like that happens, you can go and get it. So anyway, this is the start of the game. So the first achievement you actually get as soon as you sign into the game. So it's called Opening Move. So you have to set up an account for PawnTakesPawn.com. You can't use your Call of Duty account. It's a separate thing. And then as soon as you sign in, I think you have to confirm your email address. As soon as you sign in with it, you should get this first achievement, Opening Move. So that's a nice, easy one to get. Now, the first achievement page shows another set of achievements blanked out, and that's not all of them. I think at first we thought it was. But instead, you're going to have to unlock way, way more than that. So we'll get into Zork and then get the rest of the achievements. So to start playing Zork, All you need to do is go back, click on PawnTakesPawn at the top left there, and it'll load you back into the code cave, which is the name of this page. Click on the terminal screen, and then this works like any sort of like command prompt. Just at the bottom, type in Zork and press enter, and that'll load you into the game. So what we'll do is actually get some of the other achievements quite early on. So at the beginning, this is a text adventure, so you have to type in commands. Everything's told to you through text. And you start off at the west of your house. Now, all it says is you're standing in an open field west of a white house, and there's a boarded front door, so you can't get into the house that way, and there's a small mailbox there. Now, there's some things in this game that you can do that don't get you achievements, but like you can look at them if you want. But to type anything, just click in the command prompt. You can like open the mailbox, and then you'll find there's a leaflet in there. You can take the leaflet if you want, or you can just read the leaflet. And then that kind of introduces you to the game, which is kind of cool. It's really important if you do decide to do that because you want to read stuff about it, make sure you drop it. So once you've dropped it, you can go up to the north and then go press north again, and you will go to a forest path. Then very quickly type climb tree, so you go up a tree, press take egg, and that will actually get you one of the first achievements, Easter egg, which is just for picking up that egg, which is actually part of one of the first treasures. But we're not going to keep this save, so it's just taking that egg. And then after you've taken the egg, type in drop egg, and you'll get the next achievement, Butterfingers, which is actually one of the ones that lots of people didn't end up getting. Now this is just a really easy way of getting two of the other achievements very, very quickly, because later you don't want to drop the egg, because that actually breaks it. So if you've done anything you don't want to do and you want to restart the game, you can type in restart and then just press yes, and then it'll take you right back to the beginning of the game, and now we can start playing properly. Now I actually restart a couple of times in this because I decided to do things differently. But in this one I just went north again. So you go north twice, climb up the tree, take the egg. This time obviously don't drop it. You can open the egg instead, just to see that you can't open it at the moment. Press down to go back down the tree. You can just type D for down, and you can type S for south. So go south, then go east behind the house. Then type open window to sort of prise the window open. Go west, and then you get into the house and you get the achievement with great effort. So that's just for getting into the house. That's another really easy one, and you have to do this to progress. So you're not going to miss it if you're following any kind of guide to get in here. Now you can actually get another really easy one, because the first room you get to in the house is the kitchen, and on a table there's a sort of sack there, a brown sack. So if you type in open sack, you'll see there's some lunch and some garlic. Press take garlic and you'll get the achievement bat repellent. This is something that you need later in the game, so you can go past an area where there's a kind of vampire bat, or a bat that turns into a vampire. But yeah, so just picking up the garlic, that's enough to get that one. Now to get another couple of achievements, really, really simply, all you need to do is go west into the sort of living room where there's a trophy case. Type in take lantern, because you always can need a lantern. Then if you type take sword, you'll actually get another achievement, which is armed and dangerous, which is just picking up any weapon. You can get this by picking up the sword here, or you can get the knife from upstairs. It doesn't really matter which way you want to do it. Then you can really simply get 3 more achievements. So type in move rug, then open trapdoor, which is under the rug. And then always before you go down in there, turn on your lantern. So before you go into the cellar, always make sure your lamp or your lantern's on. So turn it on, and then you can just press D to go down, and you'll get 3 different achievements now. Zork Adventurer, Night Vision, and Dungeon Delver. Dungeon Delver is for going into the underground. Night Vision is for lighting up the underground with something. And then Zork Adventurer is actually for completing the first 5 achievements. And that's the one that you need if you want to get the postcard. So that will actually have the link on it that you can click, and then you'll be able to get the postcard sent to you if they're still sending the postcards out. That's what we did. It asks you to fill in your address, and then you can just hope for the best to see if you can get that postcard sent out to you. So in this game, I actually ended up restarting it again just because I wanted to do things in a slightly different way. But I can show you that if you save and then restore because you think you've done something wrong or anything like that, that actually will get you another achievement which you need. So all you need to do is type in save at some point, then type restore, and then you'll get this achievement, open drop save restore, which is actually the name of the sort of on the shipping address for the American postcards, which is interesting. But yeah, all you need to do that is save stuff. You might need to drop something first, I'm not sure, and then type restore, which takes you back to your save, and then you'll get that achievement. So once you've got to this point, you can go to your achievements, click on the link in the Zork Adventurer one, and it will ask you to confirm your mailing address. Now this is what we did on the first day, and then they ended up sending us the postcards. Like I said at the start, I've got no idea if they will still send out the postcards. I've got no idea how that works or how many they're going to send out or which countries they're going to send out. But I'd make sure you fill in all your details on there and make sure they're all accurate, especially the country part, just to give yourself a chance of getting that postcard. So after you've done that, you can restart the game again. You can see that I did that. I just typed in restart and then pressed yes. And then I'm starting the game again. So this time you can go south and then go east, so you're behind the house, open window to get back in. And we're going to do things in a slightly different order just because that's how I know the game basically. So go west into the kitchen, then go west again to living room, take the lantern, which you need, then move the rug, just like we did before, open trapdoor. Then you can, once you've opened that, make sure you've turned on the lantern. Don't forget to do that, although you actually will get an achievement, which I'll show you later. Then go down. So remember, when you want to go down in direction, you can just type the first letter. So D for down, and that takes you into the cellar. So now if you go south and then east, that takes you to the gallery where there's a painting. So type in take the painting, and you would have grabbed the painting, which is useful. Then you can go north up to the studio. There's a piece of paper there that you can read if you want to, but you don't have to. But if you go up, you'll climb up the chimney and get into the kitchen. Then you can go up again to the attic and type in take knife and rope. This game does support you saying and between things. So that saves you a little bit of time with your typing. So get that knife and rope, then go down again. Then go west into the living room. Now what you want to do is open up the case for the trophy, put painting in case, and you'll do this sort of thing a lot. And that lets you put the painting in there and get treasure hunter, which is the first one for putting a treasure in the trophy case. And this kind of point in the game is to put all of the treasures in there. So you'll end up doing that one quite a lot, or things like that. So now you can drop the knife, because you're going to pick that up later, and take the sword, because you need the sword now. So the sword's like just with the trophy case. And then you can open the trapdoor again, just to go back into the cellar. So go down. Make sure you save here because you're about to be in a fight, and if you get injured it's a really good idea to restore, just because otherwise you can't carry as much. So go fight the troll, you go north into the troll room, just keep typing kill troll until he dies. Like I said, if he gets injured, restore and just do it again. So keep on typing kill troll, eventually you should kill him or he'll be knocked out, and then next time you kill him. And then you should get the achievement for killing the troll, which says Troll Slayer, and then it will say your sword is no longer glowing, and you actually don't need the sword anymore, so you can just drop it here. I actually restarted this bit because I did something wrong later and I forgot to drop the sword, but I saved here, and then you'll see me drop the sword a little bit later on this one. So then you need to go east twice to the round room, then southeast to Engraving's Cave, and then east again to the dome room, and tie rope to railing, which will give you a way down. So then, as always, if you want to go down, you can just press D to go down and you're in the torch room, and you'll come back here a couple of times. Don't grab the torch yet, instead go south to the temple and then go east to the Egyptian room and take the coffin. You've got a solid gold coffin for Ramses II. Now it will say your load is too heavy if you haven't dropped a sword, so that's when I dropped the sword, I remembered to, and then you can take the coffin. So once you've done that, you can go west and you'll be in the temple where there's a brass bell, but you don't need that yet. Go south to the altar. If you want, you can press D to try and go down, but it won't work. Instead, type pray, and you'll get fast traveler, which is an achievement for using one of the fast travel methods. There's a few different ones, but this is one of the ones we're going to use. So once you've typed pray, and you'll be in the forest, so you can turn off the lantern. Always turn off your lantern when you're outside, because it does actually wear down a little bit. So now go south, and then weirdly you can go south and you go north again, and you'll be in the clearing. And if you press east, you'll go to the canyon, and you'll get breathtaking view. You'll be at canyon view. Which is just for being at the canyon, basically. You get a load of easy ones around here, which is quite nice. So now go down twice, and you'll get to the bottom of the canyon, and you'll get Bottom Dweller, which is just for being at the bottom of the canyon, which is nice and easy. And now you can get another one, actually. So if you open up the coffin, which is the thing that you just went and took from the temple, which you took from the Egyptian room, go north first, and then go to the end of the rainbow, and then press open coffin. And then in the coffin is a scepter, so take the scepter. And then if you wave scepter, it will make a sort of bridge appear over the rainbow. And then a pot of gold appears as well. So you can take that gold, take the pot of gold. And then also, just while you're here, if you press east, you'll go over the rainbow. And that gets you another achievement for crossing the rainbow bridge. That one didn't trigger for me the first time, I'm not sure, so you might have to try going over it a couple of times. But this time it worked fine the first time. So then go back west, back to the end of the rainbow, and then we're just going to head back a little bit. Remember, there's only so much you can carry, so we have to keep going back to the trophy case. So type in southwest, then up to get to the top of the canyon, northwest to go to the clearing, west to go behind the house again, type west to get back into the house in the kitchen, and then this time open the bag that's on the table. So just type open bag, then take garlic. Remember, we took garlic before we restarted, so you don't get the achievement again, but take the garlic, 'cause it's super important that you have that with you for the next few bits. Otherwise you can't get through the back room, basically. So now go west and you'll be back in the living room, and whenever you come back to the living room, you just want to dump your treasures. So you can put the coffin and the scepter and the gold in the case. If the thief's stolen one of them, you might not have one of them, but don't worry too much if you don't have any of those. So check your inventory, and you should just have a clove of garlic and a lantern with you. If you've got anything else, just drop it here, so you'll be able to find it later. So open the trapdoor again, turn on the lantern. You'll get used to doing this sort of thing quite a lot. And then this time go down into the cellar, then north into the troll room, but the troll's already dead. East to the east-west passage, then north to the chasm this time. Then go northeast and you'll get to reservoir, then east and you'll get to the dam. So the dam is quite an important place. There's a few different tools and stuff you need. So go north into the dam lobby and take the matches which you need for later. You'll actually come back to this area a little bit later. You need to do a few different things here. Now, if you go north or east from here, you go to the maintenance room and you need to grab the wrench and the screwdriver. Don't worry about the other things. So take that wrench and screwdriver, and then you need to push a yellow button in here. So just type in push yellow button, don't push anything else, and then press south to go back to dam lobby, south again, and you'll go back to the dam. Now, you need to do something here with the tool that you just took. So you can press turn bolt, but it won't work. You actually have to say turn bolt with wrench, and then that'll let you turn the bolt and the sluice gates will open, and that'll give you open the floodgates, which is for emptying the reservoir, which lets you do some other stuff later. Now you can drop the wrench because you never need to use it again. So anything you don't need to use, you can just drop on the floor. It doesn't matter what you do with it. Then go south into the deep canyon, down into the loud room. Now this time the loud room will actually send you somewhere else on the map. Normally somewhere fairly close. It's really useful to have a map of Zork open, and then you can find where it sent you to, and you actually need to get back to the dome room. So just try and plot a path, preferably not through the loud room again, otherwise it might send you running away again. And just make sure you can get back to the dome room. So this pause here is me just loading up a map and looking where I was, and I could see, okay, I can go southeast, then east again, and I'm back in the dome room where I need to be. Now remember, you tied the rope to the railings in the dome room, so now without having to do anything else, you can just press down again, or D, then you go into the torch room. Now you can turn off the lantern because you're going to take the torch, and the torch lights things up for you. And remember, you always want to save that lantern charge because it slowly drips down with every turn that you take. So take that torch, and while you're holding the torch, and we'll carry it with us for a while now, you don't need to worry about the lantern at all. So I save now. I think it's useful to save every now and then. I probably don't save enough in this run, but it's useful to do it. I wanted to go back to try and destroy myself and get the Kaboom achievement, but it's saying there, yeah, you cannot reach the rope. So there's lots of places like this in the game where you can't go back the way you came. Instead, you have to do something else. So you can go south and then take the bell that's on the floor. This one in the temple that we actually saw earlier when we came through here to get the coffin. But this time you actually need the bell because you're going to use it in a second. Then I typed go to altar, but that's not how you get to the altar. Instead, you want to go south again. That'll take you to the altar. And then you want to pick up the book and the candles. So take candles and book. Now you can go down again and you'll go into a cave. You sort of go through a hole in the floor. You couldn't get through there before because you had a coffin, but now you don't have the coffin anymore. You can go down into the cave and then go down again. You go to the entrance of Hades and then ring the bell, and that'll sort of get rid of the wraiths. Take the candles again because you actually drop the candles when that happens. There's like a gust of wind and sort of you get confused by things. So the candles drop to the ground and they're out, it says. But yeah, take those candles because you're going to need them in a little bit. So always try to sort of keep up with the things that you need and things you don't. Now you can light match. You can't just type light candle straight away. You have to light match first, then light the candles. And then once you've lit the candles, the spirits get sort of scared of you. And the match goes out, so you don't need that anymore. Then you read the book. And that is sort of like a way of exercising it, I guess. Then you can go south into the land of the dead. And you can take this skull. So there's like a crystal skull which you need. Once you've taken that, you can go north again, back up to the entrance of Hades. Ignore the bell, you can just go north again into the cave. Now remember, you can't hop back up very easily. You can go north again instead to the mirror room, and you can put out the candles now. If for some reason they're lit, you don't actually need them. But when you're in the mirror room's one of these fast travel things. So if you type rub mirror, it will take you from mirror room south to mirror room north, which is where you are now. It doesn't give you much guidance on what's happening there, but essentially, yeah, there's 2 mirror rooms, one in the south, one in the north, and when you press rub mirror, it actually moves you to the other mirror room. Now, I save again. It's always a good idea to save a lot of time, but this time it's because I wanted to get an achievement. So, go north, then west, then north again to the mine, then west again to the squeaky room, then north to the bat room, this is why you need the garlic, then go east to the shaft room, north to the smelly room, then press down, and you'll explode because you had a lit torch on you and this room's full of gas. And you'll get Kaboom, which is another one of the achievements lots of people miss. So that's the reason why we just ran through there with the torch. So after you've done that, type restore, because hopefully you've saved, and then you'll go back to this point. Now you can do that at any point. It's just sort of like if you're near the gas room and you've got the torch, just save, go do it, and then just restore. So now go north and west again, north again to the mine entrance, west to the squeaky room, and then north to the bat room. Again, you've got the garlic, so don't worry about anything. You don't want to pick up the jade figurine yet, because you'd have to drop it anyway. Now go east to the shaft room, and this time, rather than carrying the torch with you, put the torch in the basket. This means that like the torch is there, you can have to light your lantern because you need the light still for the other rooms, but you won't blow yourself up when you go into the gas room. So go north, go down, go east into the coal mine, and then go northeast, southeast, southwest, and then down to the ladder top, down again to the ladder bottom, south, and you'll hit a dead end, and you'll actually get the achievement end of the line for this, which is just for getting to the dead end in a maze. But you had to come here anyway to get the coal. So you'll see the small pile of coal, just type in take coal, you're going to use that in a second. And like the dead end one you just got, you could have got from anywhere in the maze. But anyway, go back north to ladder bottom, go up to the ladder top, up again to the coal mine, then go north, east, south, then north again to you should be in the gas room. Then you need to go up to climb back into smelly room, then south to the shaft room. This time, put the coal and the screwdriver in the basket. Now, the reason you do this is because there's a bit that you can't squeeze through if you're carrying anything. So now you type lower basket to put the basket into another room, which you can get back around to. And this means that you can complete the next bit to get the diamond. So go north, then down, then go east, then northeast, then southeast, then go southwest, and then go down, and then that takes you to the ladder top, and go down again to get ladder bottom, and this time go west into the timber room. Now you can just type in drop all, because you're going to pick up some stuff in a second, but you don't need any of it, not even the lantern for this next bit, because remember you put a torch in the other rooms. Now you can go west into the drafty room, through this little gap, and type take screwdriver and coal and torch. So you couldn't get through that gap if you were carrying anything, and if you didn't have the torch, you would have just been eaten by a Grue. So now you've got the screwdriver and coal and the torch in this little bit. So go south into the machine room, and then you've got some instructions to do. Type in open lid, just open up the machine, put coal in machine. Some of you can see where this one's going. Then type close lid. Then you can actually turn the switch, and you just do it with the screwdriver. You don't need to type with the screwdriver. And that is running the machine for you. Then you can drop the screwdriver because you don't need it anymore. That's the last time you're going to be using that one. Then type open lid, and there's a huge diamond in there, which is one of the treasures you need. So now you can take the diamond. And that's one of the treasures that you need to put in the case. So now you can go north, back to drafty room, put the diamond in the basket, along with the torch, because you can't take the torch through the gas room, and you can't take anything out of this room actually, because you can't fit through. So put that all in the basket. And then once you've done that, you can then travel sort of back around to get to the top of that shaft where the basket is, and then you can get the diamond out of there. So go east back into the timber room, and all you need to pick up is the skull, which is one of the treasures. And obviously make sure that you've got the lantern and the garlic, because you're going to use those a lot. So type take skull and lantern and garlic. All the rest of the stuff you can leave it there. You don't actually need the book or the matches anymore. So make sure you've taken that skull, lantern and garlic, then go east to get to the ladder bottom, then go up to get to the top of the ladder. and then up to the coal mine, and then you've got to kind of go backwards through the coal mine maze. So just go north, then east, then south, then north, back to the gas room. This is the last time you're going to be in the gas room, so make sure you take the bracelet now, because that's another one of the treasures. There's a bunch of these treasures really quickly now. So make sure you pick up that bracelet. Thankfully, you don't have to come back through this maze or anything like that anymore. Then go up to Smelly Room, south to the Shaft Room, and then type in Raise Basket, and this will bring up the basket that you were just messing around with. Take the torch and the diamond. The torch is actually one of the treasures as well, so you need that one. So take both of those, then turn off the lantern, because you're now carrying the torch, so you don't need a lantern anymore. Go west into the Bat Room, and you see there's a jade figurine there, so just type Take Jade to pick that up. That's another one of the treasures. Then you can go south into the Squeaky Room, east to the mine entrance, south to the slide room, and then you can actually just type in down to go down the slide, and that'll leave you in the cellar, which is really handy, because then you can just press up to get back into the living room. Now, look in your inventory, and you should have all of these things, so you should be able to say, put skull and bracelet and diamond and jade in case, and that'll put all of those treasures back into the case. I actually forgot to put the torch back in the case at this point, but don't make my mistake and make sure you put that torch in the case as well. So then you can turn on your lantern, assuming you've put the torch on the case, so you need to turn on the lantern. And then you can go back down into the cellar. Then you want to go north to the troll room. And this time you're going to go east and then north again to the chasm, then northeast to reservoir south. And then just go north to the reservoir and make sure you take the trunk. There's like a trunk of jewels there. Then you go north again, and this time you need to take pump, because you need the air pump from this to pump up the boat later. And then you want to go north one more time, and then you can take a trident. That's the bit where I realised I still had a torch, so I sort of hopped back, dropped that off, and then went back to go and pick up the trident again. So this is me sort of like panicking a little bit because I suddenly couldn't carry something that I was meant to be able to carry. If you do that and you've been saving, then obviously you can just restore. If you can't do that, then you're going to have a problem. So you can see me there looking at my inventory and saying, oh, I've got a torch. That's a problem. So now I'll just sort of like skip ahead a little bit to when I got rid of that torch and came back to go pick up the trident. So now I've come back, I can actually take the trident. I dropped off the torch and I came all the way back here. And this time it actually lets me take the trident because I'm not carrying the torch as well. There's a really strict carry weight in this. And in this bit of the kind of quest, you are pushing right up against it most of the time. So now go south, all the way back down to Reservoir South. Then go east to the dam, east again to the dam base. And type in inflate plastic. That's actually the boat. And then you can type in drop pump because you don't need to pump anymore. You've already inflated the boat. Then you have to say get in boat and launch. And that will give you River Raider, which is for launching the boat. So you're getting onto the frigid river in a boat. Then you need to wait a few times. So wait once, wait twice, wait 3 times, and then wait one more time. So you should see the red buoy. Now you actually want to take that buoy, so pick it up, which seems a bit weird to me. But anyway, you pick up the buoy. And then you can also leave the boat. So go east and you'll get beachcomber for landing on one of the beaches. So now you're on the beach, you can see that there's a shovel there. And there's sort of like some passages and stuff around. Now you want to get out of the boat. You actually have to say get out. Then open the buoy and you'll see there's an emerald in it. And you can take that emerald and then you can drop the buoy because you don't need it anymore. And it's actually pretty heavy. So now you've got the emerald and you don't have the buoy anymore. I would save here because there's an annoying bit next where you can actually die. So make sure you've saved before you go into the next area. And then once you've done that, you can take the shovel from this area, pick that up. If you haven't dropped the buoy already, it will say you can't pick up the shovel, but make sure you take the shovel. And then go northeast to the sandy cave. Now what you want to do here is, like I said, save. I think I was just panicking here, so I saved again. And type dig sand. And you have to do this a few times. So dig sand, dig sand, dig sand, until it says that you can see a scarab. Okay, sometimes it'll collapse and you have to restore, but you should be able to pick up that scarab. Here again, it was saying that my load was too heavy, so I had this problem again of, okay, what do I do? But I just dropped the shovel, and then you can take the scarab, because you don't need a shovel anymore. So drop that shovel, then you can take the scarab, which is another one of the treasures that you need. This is one of the more sort of out-of-the-way treasures, I guess. Now, go southwest, and you'll get to the sandy beach again, which is where your boat was. You don't actually need the boat anymore. you're done with that, because earlier you made a rainbow. So you can go south to the shore, south to the Arrogane Falls, then west. So you're crossing the rainbow. Now you'll find that you're on the rainbow. I got a bit confused because I thought you crossed it in one, but you actually have to go west twice. So you can turn off the lantern because you're outside now. I couldn't go southwest now. Can't go up. I was very confused about where I was. Instead, you have to go west again to get off the rainbow on the other side. And remember, that takes you to kind of the bottom of the canyon where we were before. So go west, you should be at the end of the rainbow. Southwest to the canyon bottom. Then you can just go up twice to get to Canyon View. Go northwest to the clearing, then west behind the house, west again to the kitchen, then west again to the living room. And now you can look in your inventory and see, oh yeah, you've got a bunch of treasures. So you can put the trunk and the trident and the emerald and the scarab inside that case. And now you've put loads and loads of the treasures in the case. Now you've only really got one more area to do. There's sort of like, you're very, very close to the end now. There is a sort of slightly tricky bit here, but go east and then north and then north. And now we're going to climb the tree and get that egg again, because we haven't got it in this save. So climb up that tree, take the egg, and then go down again. You don't want to do anything with the egg up there yet, because you need it for something. So go south and then east, then west again to the living room. Then turn on the lantern, because you're going to go down again. Go down to the cellar. And you're going to go north, and then this time we're going to go west into the maze, and that actually gets you an achievement, Twisty Little Passages, because you're going to be doing the next part of it in the maze. So once you're in the maze, you want to be going south first of all, and then east. Then you want to go up into the place where there's a bag of coins. So you can take the coins and key, because there's a skeleton key there that you're going to need. You can't do anything else in that part. I mean, I suppose you could take the knife, but you don't really need it. So go southwest to get back into the maze. Then go east to the maze. And you see me actually looking at the instructions here. South, then southeast, and you'll get to the Cyclops room. Now to beat the Cyclops, you just type in Ulysses. Make sure you spell it right, and you get an eye for an eye. So yeah, to spell Ulysses, it's Ulysses. And you get that eye for an eye achievement for defeating the Cyclops. He's sort of very scared of hearing the name of his father's nemesis, you know, because Ulysses beat the Cyclops. Then save. It's really important you save there, because when you go up, you go into the treasure room where there'll be a thief that will try and attack you. Give the thief an egg. So just type give thief egg. And he gets very confused and kind of leaves you alone for a little bit, which is super handy. So give the thief the egg, and then you can go down back into the Cyclops room, east into the strange passage. And weirdly, you can see this guy with the bag there. That's a random event. You might not see that bit, and that's absolutely fine. And then while you're in the strange passage, you can go east again to get back to the living room, because you've owned up a shortcut now. So now you can put the coins in the case, and then you actually need to grab the knife that you dropped earlier. This is the one from the attic, because this gets a bonus against the thief. So go west, and then save, because you're about to fight the thief. Now, again, I always just restore every time I get injured by the thief. So I typed kill thief, but then he wounded me. So I just typed restore again because I had a save. So go up again, kill thief, see what happens, kill thief. Just keep typing it until you manage to kill him without getting injured. There I got stabbed in the leg, so I typed restore, go up, kill thief, just keep typing it until you kill him. So then kill thief again. This time it took ages for some reason, but then you finally kill him and you get keep your hands to yourself. So like I said, I'd keep restoring until you kill him without getting injured. So kill him, and then you'll be able to take all his treasures. So you can take the egg and the chalice. If he's stolen anything from you, you'll have that there as well. So if he's stolen any treasures earlier in the game, this is where you'll be able to pick them up again. You might need to do a couple of runs between here and the living room if you've got a lot of stuff that's been nicked. So get the egg, get the chalice, then go down and go northwest. You don't want to go straight back to the living room. Instead, go northwest, then south, then west, then up, and then down, which is very confusing. But now you want to go northeast and get to the grating room. Now type unlock grating with key, then open grate. And that actually takes you up to the clearing, so you can go up into the clearing. You can turn off your lantern because you're outside again. And then you can go south to the forest path, climb the tree, because you're back where the tree was. And this time, because you've got the egg again that the thief was messing with, now you can take the canary out because he did something that let you open it. So you can take the canary, wind up the canary, and then it'll make another bird drop a bauble on the floor. So go down, take the bauble, which is another one of the treasures you need. And so what you'd done there is you'd given the thief the egg to play with. If he steals it from you, it has the same effect. Go south, then east, then west, then west. So you're back in the living room and you can put all of those treasures back into the thing. But yeah, the thief was messing with the egg and he opened it for you. So then you could take that canary out. So you can put the bauble and the chalice and the canary and the egg in the case. So now you've got all of the treasures except for one of them. So now you can turn on your lantern again. And then, because you turned it off when you went to the forest, go down, go north, go east, and then go east, and you'll go back in the loud room. But this time, just type echo, and you'll get echo chamber achievement, because you've sort of defeated the loud room, essentially. And now you can pick up the large platinum bar, which is on the ground. You can just type in take bar, I think, and it works. So now this is actually the last treasure. So now all we need to do is get back to the living room. So go west, west, west to the troll room, south to the cellar, and then you can go up back into the living room. Now here I realised I hadn't actually had anything stolen by the thief. So that's a problem, because you really need that achievement. So if that's happened to you, what I would suggest you do is just save. It's incredibly important that you do save, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. So save and then restart, then press Y. And then where you need to go is just go south, then east, so you're behind the house, open window, because you're right at the beginning of the game again, just do this quickly. Go west into the kitchen, go west again to the living room, take the lantern, and you can do this at any point, because you're just essentially restarting the game, but you're not going to overwrite your save. So type move rug, make sure you turn on the lantern, obviously, otherwise you're going to get eaten by a Grue again. So after you've moved the rug, you can open up the trapdoor, which will let you go into the Underdark. So open trapdoor, go down into the cellar. Then what we're going to do is, I just remembered I had to turn on the lantern. Then very quickly we're going to grab the painting, then just try and get it stolen by the thief. Kind of force the thief to steal it. So you can go south, then east into the gallery, take the painting, and as long as you've got a treasure, there's a chance the thief will steal it. So now all I'm doing is wandering about over and over again. So north, south, north, south, north, south. Just waiting for the thief to steal the painting from me and then to get me that achievement. So just keep wandering around. It doesn't really matter where you go downstairs. Like obviously you don't want to walk up to where the troll is, otherwise you're going to get in trouble. So just keep walking between the gallery, etc. The gallery in the studio and the cellar. And eventually it will happen. Sometimes it takes a while, sometimes it's really, really quick. It's just one of those RNG things that can kind of be a pain. Obviously, it was really important that before you restarted that you saved, so then you'll be able to go back to that save. While you're doing this, make sure you don't save anything. Otherwise, you're going to have to do the entire game again, which would be rubbish. If you missed this one, you could just do this right at the very end if you have got all of the other achievements, and this is the one that you need. So just keep on wandering around, and you can see here, I'm not really paying attention to anything. I'm just waiting until that achievement pops up, because that'll tell you that the thief has stolen something from you. Chances are you would have already got this achievement at some point, like you would have already picked it up along the way, because it's one of those random things that could happen to you at any point. So just wandering around, this took me absolutely ages to get it. I wandered all the way over to the chasm, and then eventually I ran into the thief, and then there you go, valuables extracted. That means that the thief has stolen something and we've got that next trophy. And then you can just type in restore and it'll take you back to your save, which is at the end of the game. So save, and it's really important you save now, then turn off your lantern, even though you're still in the cellar, or go back down to cellar, then go down into the cellar and then move around a bit, so go west and south, and you'll get eaten by a Grue. And this happens whenever you move around underground if you don't have any lights on, but you get that achievement for it. You can do that at any point in the game, just save and then turn your lantern off and move around a bit in the dark. But I restored because I'm back in the cellar and went up into the living room, and now you can put the bar in the case, and that's the last treasure, so you get the collector achievement for doing that, because now you've got all of those different treasures in there. You're not quite done with the game, so look again, and at the top the description adds a map, so you can type take map, then read map, and it tells you where the stone barrow is, which is actually where Zork 2 set. So go east, east, then south, then west, then southwest, and you'll be at the stone barrow, and you'll get escape from Zork. And this is how we got the sort of last page of PawnTakesPawn from the Zork section of it. you get that achievement because you've essentially finished the game now. But if you go northeast, then east, then north again, so you're going back to north of the house, then west. I got a bit confused here. You go south, east, west to the kitchen, west again to the living room. Now type Reconnoiter. So that's RECONNOITER. And that will make the world shift. And now this is a bit that wasn't in the original Zork, but was added for the PawnTakesPawn website. So you get the feeling that new possibilities become available to you. And this has opened up the bit that we were doing when we got all of these extra pages with the postcards and everything. Once we had the postcards sent to us, it gave us the clues to be able to solve all of this part. So type in these words, type in Machination, and you'll get the achievement Sacred Beetle, because that actually unlocks the Beetle. Originally I thought you had to take some stuff out of the trophy case, but you don't. You can just leave everything in a trophy case. Then type Insight, and you'll get Hallowed Bones. And notice these are all of the URLs from PawnTakesPawn. These are all the things that the cards had on them from the map ones. Then type in Tribute, and you get Sanctified. All of these words you're typing in are the things that we solved on those URLs, the incantations that we solved, which was sort of like drawing letters on a map. And then type in Spectrum, and that will give you Precious Metal. So that's the one for the platinum bar. Oh, sorry, it's the one for the gold. It was for the pot of gold, actually. And then type in Avarice, and you'll get Magnificent Blue. And you might notice there's all of these extra words appearing, like Fugazi File, Burn Bag, Intel Fire, Info Hacks, Shredded Tool. You're going to use those in a second. Then type in Tempest for the last one, and you'll get Triquest, the next achievement. So now, assuming you've done all of this right, you should have 35 achievements now. You're only missing 2 out of the ones we can get. So once you've typed in all of those different things, you're done with Zork. So you don't need to do anything more in Zork. You can just press escape, save it if you want, in case there's some other step in the future where we're going to have to go back to a sort of save state at the end of Zork. But I just exited out and then can go back to your achievements list. So now, if you're in the achievements list, you should see that you've got 35 achievements. If not, you've missed one, so you're going to have to go back and just check which one that you've missed. But you should have nearly all of them at this point, and that's the list of all of the ones that you can have just from playing the game, essentially. Those are all the ones that you can get from Zork. So go back to PawnTakesPawn, and the website you want to go to is PawnTakesPawn.com/invisible truths. So just type it in, spelled exactly the way I'm spelling it there. So this page will say 1 lock 6 keys, and this is where you're going to put the words that we got as a result of the incantations. So you want to type them in Fugazi File, you don't need to put it in all in capitals, Burn Bag, Intel Fire, Info Hacks with an X, Shred It All, and then Grid Square. Then when you submit, you should get the last achievement, which you can get without having the postcard, which is Advanced Pawn. And that one will actually let you click to claim your reward, and it will take you to the page where you can redeem a code to get the Iron Curtain truck. I haven't used this code if someone wants to use it, but you should, if you followed this guide and you've got this far, have this yourself anyway. It's really easy to get. So that will give you 36 achievements, which, like I said, this is the most you can get without getting a postcard. There is one more that you can get if you get the postcard. At the top of this page, it says that you can redeem a code, and that one is for people who get the postcard. You'll actually get a code on the front of it that's unique to you. You can't use somebody else's or anything like that. So thank you very much to Lakin, who on my Discord, who sent me this sort of footage of him registering the code, because I'd already done this and I haven't got another postcard. But you enter the letters from the front of that card. It's like a 12-character code, and then you'll get that last achievement, You've Got Mail, which is the 37th achievement, and that's the one that you can only get if you've got the postcard. So like I said, no idea if they're sending out the postcards still. If they are, you still might have a chance of getting them. If not, you're going to have to settle for 36, I'm afraid. Now, that's the end of all of the achievements. That's all 37 of them. We've got no idea, like, maybe there'll be more achievements in the future, but that's where we're up to at kind of the end of the Zork and the postcard puzzle. So if you liked this video, please do like and subscribe. I'd really, really appreciate it. Retweet it when I post it on Twitter, share it wherever you can so we can get a few more views, and hopefully I'll make some more of these in future for whatever the next steps are going to be. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.